After 2001, the world had become afraid of violent religious extremists, and at the time, there was nearly universal support for any means necessary to prevent any future events like those the world witnessed on September 11th of that year.
Excuse me, on the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics, and this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR.
This is only one of several meetings between Gates and government, military officials that have taken place since 2001 concerning the use of viruses to permanently alter human behavior.
Not particularly fundamentalist, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach.
What you see here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from donning on a bomb vest and going into a market and blowing up the market.
So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. So we have some very, very remarkable data in this next slide. Here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2.
These are not scans from two different people. No two MRIs are identical, even for a single patient. In the image you're looking at, black indicates where the two images are the same. Any other color indicates a difference between the two. Allow me to illustrate. You see there, how the black disappeared as I moved them apart. If they were from two different people, the images wouldn't be all black. It's probably not important in this instance, but I just wanted to make sure we're all paying attention.
These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2. On top is an individual who's a religious fanatic, an individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of VMAT2. Now, this individual down here who had low levels of the VMAT2 gene, this individual would self-describe as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual lit up the right middle frontal gyrus, shown here, and that's a part of the brain that's associated with theory of mind. It's a part of the brain that has to do with intents and beliefs and desires. In marked contrast, here's an individual who would not particularly self-describe as religious, and when they're read a religious text, what you see is that this part of the brain called the anterior insula lights up. This is a part of the brain that's associated with disgust or displeasure on hearing something.
So you're suggesting I take a CT scan with me when I'm evaluating people to determine whether I put a bullet in their head?
So the data that I'm presenting here supports the concept that we're proposing, and I think that we would not propose to do CT scans or fMRIs on individuals out in the hinterlands of Afghanistan. The virus would immunize against this VMAT2 gene, and that would have the effect that you see here, which is it's essentially to turn a fanatic into a normal person. And we think that will have major effects in the Middle East.
How would you suggest that this is going to be dispersed, the aerosol?
Well, so the present plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses, such as flu or rhinoviruses. And we believe that that's a satisfactory way to get the exposure of the largest part of the population. Most of us, of course, have been exposed to both of those viruses. And we're quite confident that this will be a very successful approach.
This is fascinating. What's the name of this proposal?
Yeah, so the name of this project is FunVax, which is the vaccine for religious fundamentalism.
And you have a proposal already?
The proposal has just been submitted, and I think that the data that I have shown you today would support the development of this project, and we think it has great promise.
What you have just seen and heard was the first proposal made by Gates in an attempt to persuade the DoD, CIA, and the DHS to back his plan to vaccinate the world against religious extremism. That plan actually got the support it needed from DARPA a couple of years later, and genetically modified mosquitoes were used for the test run in Afghanistan, sometime around 2012. It was a huge success. Literally within 2 weeks, everyone who had been exposed to the mosquitoes began showing a dramatically reduced level of interest in anything religious, and thanks to the deceptive habits of our own minds, not a single person suspected it wasn't their own authentic change of heart that was being experienced. So there you have it. You have just witnessed absolute proof that Bill Gates has in fact been working secretly with the federal government to create a virus that could spread their vaccine against religious extremism using genetically modified mosquitoes, back in 2005. This is something the media, the World Health Organization, our government, and Gates have all denied. Now you know it's not a crazy conspiracy theory. There's no denying that everyone telling you otherwise is lying to you. Aren't you in the least bit curious why?